Hello everybody, this is Kaitlin Springer, teaching artist with the Florida Orchestra. Today I'll be playing through the all-county excerpts for 21-22, and all of the instruments are unison. So whether you play the viola like I do, or you play the violin, the cello, or the bass, this is what your excerpt is going to sound like. If you want to stick around, we're going to do a couple practice tips at the end, so make sure that you stay for that. Great, so that is the excerpt. This is a very lyrical excerpt. It's like a song, like you're singing the whole time. So every bow stroke is going to be as smooth as possible. So take a listen while you're practicing and see if you have any breaks in your sound. Or if you're playing as smooth as you can. That's going to make this excerpt sound like a song that you're singing, and it's going to sound really, really pretty. So I highly encourage you guys to listen out and make sure that you're playing as legato and as songfully as possible. The other thing that I'm seeing a lot of in here is different types of dynamics. So we start mezzo forte. That's going to be a pretty big sound. So make sure that you're already playing with a lot of bow. And that way you have room for the pianos later. They're going to be much softer. And that's when you could use a little bit less bow, but make sure that it's still very clear in the rhythm as well. At the very end, for the last 3 lines or so, we have a forte sound. So here you're going to be using your whole bow. I'm looking at the part where it actually changes keys into D major at the very end. So on the 1, 2, 3, the 4th line, that pickup note with the fortes, I'm using as much bow as I can so I can get as much of a sound out as I can, and it's going to be really, really nice that way. There is a little hole you could fall into because the key changes there as well. So if you're looking at the second to last line, those G's are going to be G naturals. So make sure that you circle the key signature at that moment where it changes, and that way you won't be caught off guard by that G natural. That's near the end there. My final tip for you guys is the optional shifting part. That's not going to be for everyone, but if you are doing the shifting part, I highly suggest practicing it by itself. So play just the note before. I'm actually going to shift on the D. I'm looking at the viola part here, the last 2 measures. I'm going to shift on the downbeat of those last 2 measures. So I'm ending in 3rd position, but I'm going to practice the measure before that. That is the 3rd to final bar, where we have the G, A, B, C. I'm going to freeze there, shift, and then play. And make sure that your elbow comes around a little bit if you have to, and you have some nice wide whole steps here so that it sounds like a very happy D major ending. And I practice that freeze, and then I make the little break smaller. So the first one might be like this. Freeze, shift, play. Like that, and then I might do one, freeze, shift, and then I might take the break out altogether. And that way I practice finding the shift by itself, and then I put it all together like a puzzle, and I'm able to practice it that way. And that really helps me a lot make my shifts very consistent and in tune when they need to be. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Remember, smooth. Everything's legato, like you're singing a song. You don't want any spaces in between any of your notes. The second thing was dynamics. Start with a strong mezzo forte so that your piano sounds softer. And then at the end with the forte, use your whole bow so that it just sounds really prominent. And the last thing was practicing that shift, but practicing the shift by itself. So play a few notes before the shift, pause, freeze, find the note, and then play. And then remove the break gradually. So those are my tips for how to play this one. I hope you guys enjoy the audition. I look forward to seeing you there.